Going live.
All right.
Just so you don't say anything you regret. Hey, come. Is that even? I hate it when they're uneven. There
Yeah,
we go.
there he is. Okay.
That was weird.
Who's going to join us tonight?
That's right. I know. I know. I felt bad. Karen said she missed it the other night,
Mm-hmm.
and so she was hoping to make it tonight. And Andrew Prince is traveling around. I'm not sure if he's going to make it or not.
Yeah, he was out west, wasn't he?
He's all over the place, and then he's going to be. I was hoping I'd get to see him Momentum. I think they're doing a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you like that floating shoe? Isn't that cool? This is what you get when you do the show in your kid's room. There's a better angle of it. It's actually my shoe because my kid took all his shoes to school. This is why you got to watch the video, guys. You're going to miss important things like this.
Mm-hmm. Is that a PIM particle deal from the boat on the shelf?
Yep. That's from the Wish. That's an X-wing. That's a lightsaber. That's a lightsaber. This only by the way, Andrew can see this part. But if you look up top in the bushes on either side of the Mickey, I ordered off Facebook as topiaries and thought they would be big enough to put in my yard. It was
a little small.
One of those too good to be true.
Yeah, I ordered it was supposed to be a Polynesian trash can. It was a set of salt and pepper shakers. I was using it in my man cave, and I was like, it's a little too small.
It happens to the best of us.
Yep.
But I did not read any fine print. Or it may have just been a total scam no matter what.
The Woolies are in the building.
But yeah, that's my kid had that because he went through like a collecting Air Jordans phase.
Yeah, I've got a couple pairs of those myself.
And then he kind of popped out of it. He's into cologne. Is that weird? Like he's really into cologne.
No, that's not weird.
Like he probably has a couple $1,000s worth of cologne.
Yeah. Let's switch it up for the ladies in college.
Right. He's not getting the stuff like in the bowling room bathroom. Like if you liked your car, you'll love whatever. It's really nice cologne, but he knows a lot about it. Oh, Dad, that's more of a fall scent. What?
You ever had a bottle of Old Spice, what it said? I'd gotten a new bottle and was reading it, and it said, this stuff was good enough for your grandfather. It's good enough for you. Thank your grandfather for you being here.
Are you using Old Spice? That's awesome.
Yes.
Give a little slap. That's incredible. Does it still come in the same bottle, like with the shake, like vinegar?
Yep.
That's
same
awesome.
Little wedge that goes back on the top of it when you're done. Yeah.
I love it. I get a little fascinated with lighting. I don't know if you've noticed that. I can't figure out what I like best, what looks best. All right. Well, I'm feeling a little more energetic than I was on Sunday. And I think I'm glad we waited until Thursday this week.
Sure.
So how are those Disney macaroons?
I don't have a clue.
It's buttery Sprite. How do you not know, Andrew? I mean, that's directed right at you.
That's directed right at me.
This is why doing this live is
bum 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 bum. Who is buttery Sprite?
Right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm feeling much better. And I was telling Andrew before the show, hey, I got nice custard. Thanks, buttery Sprite. I'm just going to pretend I know what that means and move on.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump on in. Hey guys, and welcome to the But Mostly Disney podcast. I'm Tater, enjoying my custard, and with me, as always, is my buddy Andrew and his amazing macaroons.
What's up, everybody?
If you're not joining us live, yeah, we're having some fun in the chat, which is why I like it, because you never know what's going to happen. A couple weeks ago, we had that one guy in there. It was a little PG-13, but still pretty funny. So. Yep. If it gets too bad, I'll let you know, but I don't know who Buttery Sprite is, but I'm in love with them already. So join us. And if you don't, tell your friends to. Karen says she did not get a notification. A lot of this stuff, I am just not a wizard on how to get it out to people and how to make it come to people. And I know I get too many notifications, so I turn mine off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's tough. There's a lot out there. So I try to, I almost always at least get a post out a couple hours before the show on, Facebook or Instagram. So if you follow me on there, follow But Mostly Disney, then you will always know when the show is. Karen, I actually texted and told her it was coming Thursday, but that's a bummer about the notification. So yeah, and if you're not listening to us, you should be listening to Married to a Disney Addict, which is a fantastic podcast.
Fantastic.
And they're probably a little more organized than we are.
Yeah. That's because his wife probably makes him organized.
God bless her. Well, I'm going to be more organized after next month or this month when we go to Momentum. I always come back motivated to get things done, because I don't even know what number episode this is. Like, I haven't had time to go back through my computer and see.
It's in the 30s still, I think.
What I've uploaded. Yeah, I'm going to guess it's 39.
That's what I was going to go with.
It could be 40. But I think I've got a couple that I have not put up on Spotify yet. And that's really where I do my tracking. So I know we missed a couple. So I've got some work to do. But for this week, I just put question marks. And last week, I don't think I put anything. So the last one on Spotify was 37. So there might be a 38 on my computer that I haven't put up here. And then last week could be 39. And then this might be 40.
40?
It's possible.
We'll go with that.
Right. What do we need with labels and numbers? So I was thinking this week, and my wife actually recommended it. And Andrew, you might have brought it up a while back because it sounded familiar. But I was thinking to myself, so just got out of the hospital, just did physical therapy today, and I am really weak. Like, I cannot stand up without using my hands, which apparently I thought no one could, but everyone can but me. So I'm pretty weak. I'm pretty slow. I went out and did some real estate-y stuff today, and I had to sit down in the middle of it, which is normal. I'm pleased because a week ago I could barely stand up. So I was thinking to myself, okay, we're not going like full day commando parks, but we probably will do some half day stuff, like after 5. So how's that going to look for me? Do I have to get a Jazzy, and beep, 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 one of those deals? Or am I going to get pushed around in a wheelchair or a cane or a walker? Or do I just take a lot of breaks? Right? So I was thinking to myself, where do you take breaks? Where do you relax at Magic Kingdom? Because we know it's hot a lot of times. You're on 30,000 steps. Maybe your kids are driving you crazy. Maybe someone else's kids are driving you crazy. So how do we do that? And it's not really, maybe a top 10, maybe a top 5, depending on how many we double up on. But I was thinking of all the places you can relax, and please in the chat, let me know what you think, if you have a better spot than these, or what, any place you like to do it. You want to go first, Andrew? You want me to?
Go ahead. I went first last Sunday. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to give the most obvious one, Hall of Presidents, right?
Yes.
And I'll include Adventures American Theater as well. But with the caveat that I never nap in there. I love it. I love both of those. Mm-hmm. I love seeing Ben Franklin and Mark Twain. I love watching the presidents. My mom tells the story that the first time we went, and it may have been in Disneyland, but when Abraham Lincoln stood up, I stood up and saluted, which, so I've always loved that. My kids, they don't love it as much. However, if it's July and you are sweating and dying, and maybe you're there with your parents, my parents, which would be older, it's not a bad AC spot that's quiet and dark with nice music and, not a bad way to relax in either one of those.
That's not a bad one. We went in August and it was raining and the girls wanted to go someplace else. So they went one way and I went to Hall of Presidents and kind of just walked through the area and looked at all the new stuff they'd put in and some hats and shirts and memorabilia of the presidents, and then went and watched the show, which I loved watching it. All the old school animatronics and just history. It's always a good place to just take a break, and especially in the 90-degree, 100-degree weather in the summer, get some AC for a little bit. That's always a positive.
That might have been the problem with the closing Rivers of America. My kid said it was hot and boring, the boat ride. And if it had been cool and boring, they might have kept it. If there had been a little more breeze to cool you off. Karen says she loves, and I do too. I love the history. I think it's awesome. But the benches next to the family treehouse, I can sit in Adventureland forever.
Sure.
So that is a really good spot. All right, what do you got? What do you got on your list here?
So, stay in Adventureland. You know where the Sunglass Hut place is? If you go to your right when you walk up, there's like 3 or 4 little cubby areas in the shade. There's little tables right there. And I sit there and put that she likes to go to the tree house and go get a citrus swirl. Well, we usually go to Tiki Room, come out and get that, and then go sit over there in that area for 20, 30 minutes because it's shaded and there's people watching. It's always a little spot to get away to.
That's the key, right? Is shade and people watching. I mean, again, the luxury, and I'm so grateful to have an annual pass, means that you can stop and do some of this stuff rather than, look, if you're going and you bought tickets, they're so expensive, you've got to get your money's worth, right? But it is nice to sit and watch because it is a parade all day long. It is awesome. What's up, Caleb?
Hey, Caleb.
I like that. I may start because we always fight for that bench in front of Tiki Room with the little waterfall because I love that little waterfall up front. But it's tons of people and tons of kids, trying to get on Aladdin. So we may steal that one from you and go over there and enjoy our Dole Whip.
There's a little bit of Indiana Jones, like they have this hat and some like relics and some other stuff in the like boxes on the wall. So it's a pretty cool area to hang out cool. in.
That's the incredible thing about this place is I don't know if you can ever get to a point where you see it all, right?
You can't.
Like I'm still learning new stuff every time we talk about Disney. All right. Next, again, this goes hand in hand with my first one. I do understand why it's so relaxing. However, to me, I film it every time. I don't know why, but I love it, which is Living with the Land. Most of the time it's a walk on. So if you were done with Soarin' or waiting for Soarin' or just over there in general, but it's the same spiel every time. And yet I love it. I love listening to it. I love knowing that we are now truly living with the land. But it is a quiet, relaxing, very chill boat ride.
Yes, it is. And my 11-year-old loves that ride. We go there and we have to ride it every time. We've even gotten a fast pass for it once. I was like, okay, we'll get it and get on it right now.
Have you
That's
done
just
the behind the seeds tour?
no. We keep talking about it and haven't done it.
I know. I'm gonna do that next time. I want to plant ladybugs in the.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So if you stay in Epcot, um, during Food and Wine, it's a busy area, but when it's not Food and Wine or Flower Garden, the Odyssey is a great place to hang out. There's always the bathrooms are always nice and neat and clean, and you can get a drink in there or something. Sometimes they have food, and just go in that room and get a table and just sit and um, catch up on your day with your family because I'm sure you've been running around crazy. But yeah, it's always a good area to go. Not a lot of people. Some people just blow right through it as a walkway to get to the other side of
Right.
a little showcase, but it's always a good place to hang out.
Yeah, and you're not wrong there. Even during like Food and Wine, I've sat in there. We've always found a table.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it's a lot of people, it does seem kind of relaxed in there. And again, air conditioning being the key.
Key feature.
Matthew says this is not a bad one. The seas, and he's right. And
Yeah.
I worry about the seas. I worry it's going to go away. Although it seems like it'd be too expensive to close and tear down. But I've gone in there a couple times recently and kind of felt like they need to promote that more.
Yeah.
Not and even busy, I think that it would still be, chill. But yeah, you can go and sit there by the glass. I could sit there for hours. And it's also, again, nice and cool.
Little tidbit: if you're on the first floor coming off Nemo and Friends, you hang a right. There's a bank of benches in the corner, away from every other noise. I look for all the secluded places.
As I say this, I feel like when we talked about accessibility, they might even have a list. I don't want to stop and start typing. I'll get distracted. But I feel like they have a list of like some low noise places that you can go.
I'm sure they do.
I like, so for my next one, and I know this gets you have to time this right because there are just enough people, and now all of you will know about these that they stay crowded. But the little secret fireplaces at Wilderness Lodge up on like the 4th level or whatever, it's hard to get them to yourselves, but if you can, it is a really nice spot to go sit. And once you're there, like no one else will sit with you. I don't know. There's some unwritten rule that you can't sit down next to somebody who's already there or whatever. But that, great view out over the lobby and then just like your own little fireplace. But what a great place to put your laptop down and do some work if you need to, or just kind of zone out, take a nap. Yeah. Karen says it is. It's on the Disney website. And then when we talked about the DS show, yep, there's a list. I thought there was. Yep. And Matt, you're right there too. The Caroway Pacific room over there in the DLC, DVC.
So, yeah, Matt said over there by Tower Terror. Can I get around the backside? There's a good place to chill.
Yep, that's quiet and nice.
Even though like we got there early one morning, went to Tower Terror, and I think my wife wanted to go to shops, but that eating area, I can't think of the name. It's got all the benches if you're walking towards Tower Terror, it's on the left hand side.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of the name, but there's like 5 different little restaurants over there.
Yeah, we've hung out in a little covered bench area with the fans going early in the morning, just kind of chilled there for 20 minutes before we figure out what else we want to do. So back to the Magic Kingdom. Going down Main Street, kind of where the lady that does the silhouette pictures, one of those little alleyways. We've gotten popcorn and just kind of, when Addison was young, just kind of went down one of those little alleyways and kind of just sat on the ground and just enjoyed it's actually kind of quiet back there from all the noise, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's a good little place to go too.
Disney, the home of where adults can sit on the ground and not feel not feel
Yes.
strange. Yeah, Karen, I had one man's dream in my head, but I actually, again, it's not something I don't relax in there because I end up looking at everything, but it is a great place to cool off.
Yep.
I tell you, I think we've talked about it, but that little hidden nook behind the Christmas store, if you go back, if you're coming from Haunted Mansion and cutting through over to the castle, and you go around the Christmas store to the right, there's just this beautiful little area. And the last time I was there, we were just cutting through, but there was a guy on a bench up against a wall, sound asleep, just out cold, because, you know, you're getting a trickle of people through there, and it's like it was made for hiding away from everyone. It's an awesome spot. That's my next one, because I've been going to Disney for how long, and I'd never seen it before last year. But it is, you could sit in there and you wouldn't even know you're in a theme park. It's incredible. I love it. Awesome. You should just go check it out just to see it.
Yeah. Behind in Canada, there's a huge waterfall with a sitting area back there, and you don't even know you're in. You know, get you a couple of during food wine, and get you some beef sliders, and go sit back there and just chill, and nobody know you were back there.
Yep. Was that yours?
Yeah, sorry, I was reading. Caleb put upstairs at the Harbor House.
Oh no, it's on my list. I'll go ahead and do that one then, because I'll jump ahead. But yeah, Caleb is absolutely right. I was trying to ignore his comment until I got to it on my. But I do love sitting up there and hiding away in that window and watching everybody go. It's I mean, it's one of my favorite. It's my favorite quick service in Magic Kingdom. I like that lobster roll. It's too expensive, but I think it's delicious. But I love sitting up there and just, especially when, you know, we try to eat on off hours. So not having lunch at noon, but maybe at like 2:30 when everybody else is gone and everyone else is out in the park trying to get on rides, and you can sit up there and just be hidden away. That's one of my favorite places in all the Magic Kingdom. I really do enjoy that. Great minds think alike, Caleb.
I found this spot in Hollywood Studios a couple of years ago. We'd go on with the family, and they were out and about. There's one section in 2, kind of where the bathrooms are, and there's this little bench area over there, and you know, people really kind of don't go to it. They kind of walk right past it because they're trying to get the Rise or Smuggler's Run. Get the ambience of all the noise, and you hear the vehicles firing up and going down, and the, you know, mechanical talking and all that stuff, and it almost puts you to sleep. But I think maybe, I was back there for probably 20 minutes. I think 2 people walked back there and like, oh, this is a dead end. They turn around and walk back out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was at night too, so it made it even more a little secluded.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. I love like closing my eyes and listening to the park, you know, and you don't get a chance to very often.
Yeah, I think it's cool to find those tucked away places that not a lot of people know about, or they're too busy running to the next ride and not taking in the area and going, oh, when I come back, because like you, I have an annual pass, so I'm always trying to find something different every time I go, or try to hear something different. So to find those little tiny places, like in Wilderness Lodge, or you know, Batu or Toy Story. I think somebody put the benches in Toy Story. It's always fun to find something that you don't think anybody else knows about.
Karen, yes. I think we've talked about this. I spent all my summers in Booth Bay Harbor. We had a house right on the water, and right around the corner from us was a little boat yard and a place called Dunton's Dog House. And we would eat lobster rolls 3 or 4 times a day. It was like buying a hot dog. I mean, there was just nothing to it. It was so that, and we'd pick fresh blueberries, and we would get fresh spring water. Like we would take our milk jugs and just go fill it right up out of a rock. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, our version would be a shrimp poor boy down here in Charleston.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that either.
Nothing wrong with that either.
All right. So my next one is the Japan Pavilion.
I learned that from Lou.
It is so chill. Like you can even stand out front And just at the koi pond, at the bottom of it, in the middle of the hustling, bustling plaza, and it's really relaxing. Like I did anything. I was there. Lou had a meet of the month, and it was up in the dining area for the little restaurant up at the top of above the koi pond, which escapes me right now. We didn't see anybody up there. I mean, it was just so relaxing.
Tepanetto is on the other side, right?
Yep.
So that would be.
I can't remember.
I know you're talking about though.
It'll come to me in a second.
Katsura. Was it Katsura?
Yeah, maybe it's Katsura Grill.
Yeah, correct.
But I really like it up there. And then when the drums start, with a little bit of distance from them, it's kind of cool. But that's just it's just such a beautiful pavilion anyway. It's one of my favorites. I think that and Morocco are really just incredibly done. And I may have a little bit of fetish is the wrong word, but I like Asian culture and I like seeing what they do there. And it is a great pavilion and it is so relaxing. I'm trying to find that restaurant now. Yeah. Katsura Grill. You're exactly right. All right. Fire away.
So we stayed at the boardwalk once. I stayed at the Yacht Beach Club several times, but one time we stayed at the boardwalk. They have a grassy area out behind, like if you're going out towards the water. And during the morning, there's not a lot going on out there. Now, at night, they'll have their movie night or like different games and activities. But if you can catch it right when there's nobody out there, it's like almost sitting in the hub in Magic Kingdom, and you can just chill and enjoy the sun, and there's not a lot of people go out there during the day. The only time we see them is they're going straight to the park to walk to the boat or walk to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, that little grassy area. Then there's some sitting areas off to the side that it's always fun just to go out there at night and kind of watch the acts and the magicians and grab a slice of pizza, even though it's not the best pizza in the world. It's still a slice of pizza. Just kind of chill and enjoy the atmosphere.
Yeah, and then I'll incorporate that in less to be less specific, because I had on one of mine was that both beach and yacht club have some really cool hidden nooks where you can, and the quiet pools. I didn't even think about that. Like some of those quiet pools, there's nobody there. Yeah. We sat out. We had a great room at Port Orleans overlooking the quiet pool. I never saw anyone but us in it. And we went out and, in the evening, nobody there, just us. In the morning, nobody there, just us. Really, really cool.
If you can catch a hot tub at the hour, it's quiet.
Right.
Between 6 and 8, it's kind of crazy, but
I agree, Kira. I'm looking back through the comments. Maine is the way life should be. She's not wrong. There's something about, and I always, when I was a kid, I don't know if this is true, but I know that they had really, really strict littering laws in Maine. And I always felt like when you drove across the Maine border from New Hampshire, the air just got cleaner almost instantly. Like you could just breathe in, and it was like something different about Maine. And going back to Japan, I do like listening to those little bamboo water things fall. I kind of want to make one for the backyard. I think it would be kind of fun. Is it my turn?
Yes.
All right. Again, this is one I stay awake in because I love, but Carousel of Progress. Because that's a solid 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But I kind of sing along and quietly mouth the words that I know by heart to myself, right? Because I don't want to be that guy. There's always that guy like on Pirates that knows every line and keeps saying it right before. Yeah. I don't want to be them. But but I could ride Carousel back to back probably 3 or 4 times, and I still wouldn't fall asleep. I just enjoy it so much. Hey,
No,
Monique.
I think that about
Tater and Sean. Look, she knows both my names.
Oh, Tater Sean.
That's pretty good. Not everybody knows both.
Yeah, everybody knows both. Any dark ride or anything that my wife was saying Animal Kingdom when I thought of Finding Nemo the musical. That's a good place to go, and you see a lot of people sleeping in that room because it's all dark and cool. But anything that inside, I think you could make it a relaxing.
Have you seen Finding Nemo since they redid it?
Not since they redid it. I saw the original.
It's really good.
Okay, we'll have to check it out.
It was a lot of fun and very pretty. We kind of popped in because we just happened to be walking by when it was loading. It was great, vibrant colors and bubbles, and I really enjoyed it. People Mover.
Yeah, that's relaxing.
Yeah, I mean, I like looking around, but I've heard that there's a trick where you can raise your hand and go right and go again. Have you heard about this?
No, but I'll have to try it.
I know. Google it and look it up. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm interested to see. Like, I don't know if it only works during less crowded times or if it's all the time.
Because I would love to go for a second round.
I'd like to sit in there all day. Right. I never want to get off.
Yeah. Well, I think you could take, not just people with any transportation, buses, I don't know about that, but the monorail, Skyliner, the boats, the friendship boats, that's, to me, I have to go ride the monorail when I go every time. I gotta hear the spiel at least once.
That's funny. That was absolutely my my next one. Was boats. Any boat.
Yeah.
I'm a monorail addict through and through. But what I've realized is I do like taking the ferry boat as well. And if you get it right at night when the fireworks are going off, it's a really pretty view off the back of that. But I love sometimes we'll take the little tiny boat over to Polynesian and then just walk back to Ticket and Transportation because I just love those little boats. I remember the first time we stayed there, it was such a thrill to get on the resort loop and deserve it. And then B, to be able to take the boat back and forth from the park. Same with Wilderness Lodge.
I think I've shared this with you. My dream. Let me try that again. My dream job is to be the harbor pilot in Bay Lake. I would love to do that. Slow down. Just get to ride Bay Lake all day in a boat, and we'll look at everything. I think that'd be awesome.
It would be so much fun. I love those boats. But I mean, I've never slept better than on a boat. I mean, actually in Maine, my buddy had a sailboat next to us. We'd go over there and spend the night on it like a baby. Offshore fishing. Boy, I get on there at 4 a.m. and I go right to sleep. The rougher, the better. I can just pound waves and I don't get seasick. I love it. So riding those boats back and forth, plus it's nice when you're not in control. You don't have a choice. You can't go faster. You can't go slower. You can't make anything happen. It's beautiful all around you. I love looking at the resort. So it's nice to be able to just relax.
Yep.
I only have kind of one more.
I've got one more, and it's a Timmy Foster Go With Me here.
All right, fire away.
Off days in your room. Just being able to not have to be on a schedule, just enjoy breakfast. Like we went to Animal Kingdom at Kidani, went and had breakfast at Sanaa and kind of just chilled in the room, kind of went to the pool. Just had nothing planned, and it was just kind of a relaxing. And we try to do an off day depending on the schedule every 2 days or 1 day. We try to get 2 off days in there during the vacation. And that's where we do a lot of our park hopping or resort hopping and checking everything else out. We always pick a different resort to go to and check it out. So,
well, and I wake up typically. I I typically wake up early anyway, right? So like we all cram into one room, all 5 of us still. And I'll get up, I'll go down and get coffee, and then I'll sit out on the balcony and hang out. But there is just something so nice about not having to go anywhere. Like just to wake up and it be 8:00. You're not trying to jump into rope drop. You're not trying to get somewhere. You're not, because that's really the only time we rush is in the morning. Yeah. After that, we're very relaxed for the rest of the day. But there's something where like, that is a nice way to relax. And look, I like our rooms. There's something about watching those Mickey cartoons in the room that makes me feel like I'm home, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's, we used to go back to back, go down for 6 days, and every day we had a park to go to. And then my wife and I was just like, can we please have an off day or two? And I was like, really? Have an off day? Now I look forward, not that I look forward going to parks, I look forward to the off days, kind of recharge to get going again.
Oh, I can definitely.
We went down for Christmas and New Year's for 10 days. I needed a couple of days off.
I could go down and not do the parks.
We've done that for hurricane. We left for a couple of hurricanes and checked the hotel and just chilled out. Went to Disney Springs and went back to the resort. That's all we did.
It's hard. It's hard, right? Yeah. Because I do, or like I met Jeremy Goff down there, and I went back over to Magic Kingdom to meet him, and we just walked. We walked from Main Street out to Toontown, all the way around and back, and just chatted. I mean, it was lovely. If I lived down there, I would go over to the parks in the evening for my nighttime constitutional.
Yeah.
See, Matthew said the same thing. They went and did their first trip. No parks.
4 days.
And it was awesome.
So much more to do. There's always something to do that's not involving a park.
If you're staying on property, it's a lot of money to spend, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think there's some value in it. Yeah. The last one I had is really non-specific, and I couldn't think when I was making this list. I can see it, and I could tell you how to get there probably. But Animal Kingdom has some of the coolest seating areas. Like right before you get to Everest, there's a little shave ice stand on the left-hand side.
You walk down the stairs.
Yeah.
Behind it. And
you can go the other side too, and there's a little waterfall going through there. To be honest, the shave ice wasn't very good. I wouldn't recommend that. It was just nothing. But that little area, we sat up in there for, 20 minutes, and the one staff member went by. That was it. One cast member. Nobody else came through there. And we had a little babbling brook, and right on the other side of the foliage, everyone's going by. You can't see them. And so they have a bunch of, even Flame Tree Barbecue seating areas kind of up and hidden. A lot more people use it. Or those trails. Sometimes those trails are empty. So Animal Kingdom has tons and tons of nooks and crannies and benches and places to sit and relax, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's a trail. I believe it's between Navi Rivi area. If you go back behind where we walk on the other side, there's like a deck walking area. And the water's on one side and the walking area's on. There's a couple of benches back there as well. You can just sit and relax.
Well, and again, you have to, right? I think the biggest mistake people make is trying to do too much at Disney, because you're never going to do it all.
Yeah.
You're never we talked last week. I want to stay at every hotel. Still haven't done it. I want to eat at all the restaurants. I may not live long enough. I think I've ridden every ride at least once, but I don't ride every ride every time we go, right? Mm-hmm. You always make sacrifices.
Yep.
And so we developed our strategy. There was a couple of things, little Disney tips if you're a parent anyway. one strategy was very early on, I set limits for my kids' spending and I made it their money. And so because when we first started going, Dad, can I have this? 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 Just constantly over and over and over again. First day, they want everything, and then a couple years in, and we started going when they were 1. So obviously it was when they were old enough. And we gave them these charts and they had $75 each, right? They got 3 kids. And it couldn't go higher than 75, but it could go lower. And so if they, rather than build up to 75, I don't know why I did it that way. That's not the important part of the story, but they could lose money by not making their bed or cleaning their room or having their homework done, whatever it was. And they did pretty darn well with that. But then, then it's their money and they walk in on the first day and they're like, oh, this is so cool, Dad. I'm like, oh, well, get it. You got money. Well, I'm going to hold off till day 3. I'm like, oh yeah, when it's your money, there's a lot of discrimination in how we spend it. When it's my money, we're just going to spend it all. So that worked out really well because then I didn't have any crying fits if I didn't get this, I didn't get that. They had expectations. They knew what they were, and they they rose to that occasion. And then the other thing is we basically just prioritize one thing we have to do, and that's the focus. And then if we get that done, we've won. And then everything else is icing on the cake. Yeah. Expectations are just future resentments, right? If you hope to get on a ride and you don't, oh, it's okay. But if you expect to get on a ride and don't, then you're angry. Yep. Wow. And Lincoln's little, right, Matthew? I mean, $250, that's more than I take to Disney. Good for him.
Yeah, smart kid. I'm going to wait to see it before I buy it.
Yep. I like it. But I feel like those little 2 things for our trips made them a lot better. We didn't have a lot of arguments about like, let's go over here. I want to go over here. That worked out pretty well. We all kind of liked the same thing. Mm-hmm. As we get older, he's 8. He's 8-year-old, $250. You know how much money that is on an 8-year-old? It's like $10 million for an adult. Now the kids will go off on their own a little bit. Like if Kay and I want to go sit in Hall and Presidents, and watch that. And if they don't want to, I let them, even though it breaks my heart a little bit. Because I liked them. That's the worst part about them not being here, right? Is I miss my house is clean. And I kind of miss my messy house. I realize why it was messy now. But, now I look around like, oh, the house is clean. Wish the kids were here. Yeah. It's funny. Funny you spend all this time. And I'll tell you something else. I tell people when they ask me why I like Disney so much, I credit Disney for keeping my kids longer. Yes,
I do too.
I don't think my kids tried to be adults as early as some of these other kids, They still like stuffed animals. They still like, I'll buy if my 20-year-old son who can literally pound me into the ground, he doesn't listen to this, so I don't have to worry that he heard me say that. Wanted a Winnie the Pooh, I'd buy it for him in a heartbeat without even blinking,
My oldest daughter, the nurse, when she goes, you can tell it's like a relief for her. She's, I can, be 15, 16 years old again and have fun. I don't have to worry about patients and doctors and all this other stuff. So I can see a big relief in her when she gets to come. And then with Addison, my youngest, she's 11, but she tries to grow up faster than she is. But then when we get to the parks, it's just like she, I saw a video the other day. It was a girl at a beach and said, "This is my view." Then it was a dad's view, and she was like 3 years old. I'm like, "Yep, that's the way it is for me." I still see my kids when they were young.
You have to, man, because there's so much time to be an adult, Mm-hmm. And I, and that's the argument with the whole Disney adult thing. I haven't read AJ's book from Disney Food Blog. I listened to Lou's interview with her, and it's funny to hear her like conversational voice as opposed to like her podcast voice or her video voice. Um, I think I know I'd be lying. I'll use I statements. I'd be lying if I said that part of why I love Disney isn't escapism, right? It's a place where people are a little nicer, where people pick up trash, you know, that's somebody else's trash, where we all kind of want the park to be a little better than when we got there. And there are plenty of folks who come and one time and they're done. It's not for everybody. And I get that. But even those folks seem to be in a little better mood, you know, while they're in there. And, you know, I think it's the way the place is designed. I think it's the way the cast members treat people. But I'll give you an example, and it bothers me when it doesn't happen. But the first time we stayed at the Contemporary for my 30th, 40th birthday, I can't remember, but my wife had got it for us. Must have been 40th. And one night, and I felt like a movie star checking in there, you know? And my kids snuggled with us longer. I swore before I had kids, I'd never let my kids sleep in my bed. Boy, that was out of the window so fast. And now I'm dying for it. And my son will still come and like fall asleep watching a movie with me in bed, you know? And he's 20. And none of his friends listen to this, so I'm not worried about them making fun of him. And he's big enough that if they do, they're going to be in a lot of trouble anyway. But, you know, we've stayed a really tight family. My other my family, like, your kids still want to go? I'm like, when's our Disney trip, Dad? When are we going? Yeah. You know, they can't wait.
So part of I already told the girls how to go ahead and plan this. You know, we always try to do for Christmas a need, a want, and an experience. As we tell the girls. And so we're not going on a Disney cruise. We're going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. But when we get back on Friday, we're staying at the beach club till Sunday. And I've already asked them, all right, y'all think about where you want to do, what you want to do, where you want to eat. So we always go to dinner as a family together one night. So probably the last night we're there, I'm hoping they say Ohana, but I think they're tired of eating there. I could eat there all the time, but they always look forward to that. So Mom gets her ocean and her sunshine, and then we as a family can spend a couple days together, which I always enjoy having. You know, most of the time it's just myself, my wife, and Addison. But when I can get both my girls together and it's just us as a family going, I always enjoy that. Kind of let them walk ahead of me sometimes and just watch their expressions and their fun and seeing them act like, you know, especially my oldest, her and Haley and Addison always play off each other well, and they always have fun when we're down there. And I just, as a dad, I try to take all that in every time as much as possible.
There's something to it. And look, maybe it's not Disney, Andrew. Maybe it's because you and I are big kids, right? Maybe the kind of person who loves Disney is a big kid and is going to put that out, you know, in the world. But it's kind of like, it's kind of fun because I think, you know, it's the great thing about this community, right? It's the great thing about going online. I love it so much and I want to share it, but my friends here don't want to hear about it anymore. They think it's cool that I do a podcast and they think it's cool that I have a YouTube channel and they're not against it, but they don't want to watch this, right? And they don't want to talk about Disney constantly. And I really do, you know, I want to share it. And it's so cool to have the internet, you know, to be able to put this out there and then get response in the chat room, you know, have a group of like-minded people that you would never reach if you just were in your town. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, every day I find it.
Is not a Disney person. He does not going to Disney again. I'm like, yep, we're going again. We're leaving Friday. And my boss, he's a Disney guy. So him and I can talk at lunch together, Disney and cruises and all that stuff anytime we want to.
Yeah.
But just be able to get on the computer and just type things, you know, be on a you know, the clubhouse and somebody types something, it starts a conversation. Next, you know, it's a 20-minute conversation about Friar Nooks, you know,
right.
It's crazy. It can be the smallest thing can just start a 20-minute conversation and everybody's excited about it. And you know, I think you're right. You know, I work hard and you work hard and, you know, do our best to provide for our families. But when we can, you know, take a break and relax and go be adult kids with our kids, and it's fun. It's awesome. You know, I learned that from my dad. My dad does a lot with my brother and I try to do as much as I can with my kids because I don't want them to ever, you know, not call me up and say, hey, Dad, can we hang out? Or like you say, hey, when's our next trip? I always want that.
Time is just short, right?
Yeah, it's very short.
I mean, after being, again, not to drag every experience of mine up all the time, but after being in the hospital for that long and for a long time, not know when I'm coming out, like I'm pretty pleased with how I've grabbed my life to the fullest. And Jill, whose comment I have up here, Jill's my wife's best friend, and they've been friends since forever. I mean, since they were kids. She's come down a couple times for parts, and we've crammed 6 into a hotel room at the Contemporary before, and just made it work. And Jill's definitely honorary. She's part of our family. One of those friends that is related to you kind of thing. And she loves it, right? And she's very well traveled. I mean, she goes to England every year. I want to go to Scotland and see where my people are from. There's a lot of things I want to do, and I keep choosing Disney every time. I do have to suck up some money and go to Hawaii, but even then I'm going to go to Aulani. So it's still Disney. I'm just not taking the kids, because that is the one problem with having 3 kids is a family of 5 traveling can be really expensive.
Yes, sir.
And I'm getting to the point where I like driving better than flying places now. That was the one thing the doctors all. What's that?
That's part of my vacation, is getting in the car and driving. Right. Starts the relaxation for me.
I agree. And I can take whatever I want. I can load anything. I can have all my shirts. I can have, whatever I want to bring, my speaker, my golf clubs, I've got it all with me. And flying down is convenient, but it's not always, I think driving almost always works out cheaper if I could just figure out how to avoid, like, I'm going to stay at the Hilton next month for Momentum, and I know they have a parking fee, and I hate paying parking fees. But flying's kind of a pain. And look, every doctor that came in to see me said, "Have you traveled recently? Did you fly anywhere recently?" I'm like, well, I did just get back from California, and they're like,
there you go.
Like, we don't know where you get, pneumonia, but it certainly could have been from being on an airplane. Although I've flown hundreds of times, I've never had pneumonia before. So, well, this is fun. I do love it, and I love it that you guys come each week, Karen and Caleb. I know we're missing Andrew, but thanks, Jill, for stopping by, and Matthew. Please go listen to his podcast. It's fantastic. And Disney cast crew member Monique, who I think she said she was getting in the Disney College program, which
she did mention that.
I'm interested to ask some questions about. And whoever Buttery Sprite was, they left, and I'm sad because they're a YouTube person, so I don't know that I can find them. But we really all want to know how Andrew's macaroons are.
I don't know.
And this is the thing. Look, if you're catching this on Spotify or wherever you podcast, come by. I know it's Thursday, but Tuesday-ish. Follow us on the social medias to when we go live, because it's a lot of fun. And obviously, we can jump in the chat and change complete direction. We're not married to these topics.
Nope.
We just start a conversation and see where it goes. Next thing you know, I'm giving fatherly advice, which I'm probably not qualified to do. But I think next week we're back for Tuesday.
I'm good.
I'm feeling better. I was just tired this Tuesday. So, but I feel pretty good tonight. I feel like I'm getting a little better each week. So maybe that'll get the shows better. And then maybe I'll get off my butt and start posting stuff, because I still haven't posted any reels or videos. I just been trying to make up some work, and then tons and tons and tons of doctor's appointments, which I don't love. So, but yeah, catch us next Tuesday. What else is going on? I'm going to redo, Karen, I know I owe you a t-shirt. I think I may have to redo all of my merch, and I'm going to try to redo the logo with just BMD, which I don't love. I really like the way my But Mostly Disney works. For some reason, I can get stickers printed from some places, but I tried to do a little mouse pad the other day with the Putt Mostly Disney, our golf logo, and they wouldn't do it. So I think the word Disney is not printable for most places. So I'm going to redo that logo and put up on Fourth Wall. When I do that, Karen, then let me know, and I'll get your shirt out to you, because she won the let's see how bad Tater spells contest, which is always ongoing. Feel free to correct me. And yeah, I don't think I'm not back down till Disney till, well, I guess it's only a couple weeks, 16 days.
Yeah.
So that's
November
pretty good.
for me, it'll be a little bit.
Yeah. But I've got tons of video I need to catch up on. I've got my Disneyland trip. I've got the museum. I've got not Disney, but Big Sur. It was funny. We came out of my kidney doctor and Kay was like, that was a Disney experience. That was one of the best doctors I've ever been to my entire life. Like from the moment you walked in the door, it really did feel like they should be wearing Snow White costumes. I mean, they were just incredible. It was I love it when that translates out into the real world, you know. Doctor was great. Staff was great. So
cool.
Well, there's Monique back. No, you're the best. So thank you for coming. And we'll see you next Tuesday, guys.
See you Tuesday.
Have a great week.